Alright guys, the first part here I showed you positioning. Now we're going to get into centering. You want to start out with clay that's been wedged or clay that's been pugged and is fresh out of the bag, like this clay. And I'm going to pound it into a nice round ball. As I'm pounding, I'm making sure that I'm not overlapping and creating air pockets. But the rounder a ball you have to begin with, the easier the process of centering is, especially when you're a beginner. So before I start here, I'm going to clean my wheel head. Turn this on. Remember, you want the wheel to be in forward if you are right-handed, reverse if you are left-handed. But you're going to have to figure out, sometimes people find that even if they're left-handed, they like it in forward and vice versa. So you'll figure out what's best for you. So clean your wheel head, dry it. Remember your towel, clean side, dirty side. Now I'm going to start with one little dot of water. And I'm going to take my clay and slam it down on the wheel. Before I start, I'm going to make sure it's on there good. Keeping it nice and round. I'm not flattening it out into a pancake. Now I'm going to wet both hands, making sure again that my knees are nice and close, that I'm close enough so that my arms can rest on my thighs or they can rest on the splash pan. So I'm going to start out with the wheel as fast as it'll go. Wet both hands. Now my arms are on my thighs, supported. You don't want your arms up top fluttering around like spaghetti. You want them nice and tight. And I'm going to start out using the palms of my hands, sort of the heel into this area. And I'm going to squeeze and cone it, do what's called cone the clay in. So I'm applying pressure and coning it up. So my arms went as tight as I could. Now I'm going to do the same thing again, except for this time I'm going to link my pinky and my thumb, and I'm going to apply equal pressure from the side and from the top at the same time. On the top, I'm using this part of my hand. On the side, I'm using this part of my hand. So I'm pushing down and in at the same time. Now this hand is kind of coming over the top. Again, they're kind of linked together, so they're working together. Now I'm going to clean off the clay around the bottom, because that's what makes it, or throws it off. And again, I'm going to cone it up, squeezing with my palms, and push it down. Wet my hand, it's starting to stick a little bit. And I'm just going to keep repeating that motion up and down. So this arm is nice and tight, it's not moving around. I'm in control of the clay is not in control of me. Up and down. And as I start to feel my clay get centered, it's not wiggling all over. I can feel it with my hands, that it's not wobbling back and forth. I can see it with my eyes. It's not quite there. So now my hand movements get a little smaller. This area right here is a little off center, so I'm applying a little bit of pressure there, going up and down. I'll get the top just how I want it. So when you're done, or while you're centering, your goal is to get a nice even hump in the middle. Now before I go any further, I'm going to clean that off. One last check here. And that is pretty well centered and ready to be opened up.